Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And in this video, I just want to talk with you guys about what has happened to XRP, why I have really changed my mind about the lawsuit in a positive sense, and just generally what's going around inside the community right now, because I've noticed there's a ton of people wondering what exactly changed and why all of a sudden people have gotten a huge amount of support for XRP or gathered support, or why people just turned really bullish on the coin right now. So today, I want to cover that in an easy to follow fashion, while also hopefully giving away 250 XRP. As yes guys, if this video hits 1500 likes within 24 hours, we're giving that away. And all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. That is it. Having said that, one of the most major things that has happened right now is a new movement, and this movement hasn't come out of nothing or out of nowhere. It is because Ripple versus SEC, the whole case, of course, has been progressing. A hearing was earlier today, and in that there were two bombshells that were being dropped. One of them basically being that the judge, a judge, I guess I'm not exactly sure what the English name for it is, but you have like a judge for a specific part of the lawsuit, and then you have the main judge. Let's just put it that way. And this specific judge has actually said something really distinctive for XRP, which is that it's actually got utility and that it's different from Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that judge will most likely discuss it with the main judge, basically being a bullish thing. The second part is, in my opinion, the fact that the SEC has said now that this whole lawsuit surrounding XRP has nothing to do with XRP holders, in that sense also nothing to do with exchanges. It's just about Ripple and Ripple's executives. Meaning, the whole ordeal surrounding XRP getting lower in price and whatnot, that wasn't really because the SEC sued them. That was a small part of it. The bigger part actually on the 22nd of December was mostly due to the exchanges stopping their support. Why? Well, from that point forward, a lot of the US holders actually wanted to get rid of their bags. And from a different perspective, a lot of people all over the world just didn't want to be involved if there's a potential of not being able to exchange the currency anymore. And I understand the threat. Even though people knew that you would always be able to trade it because it's regulated in a couple of places like UK, Japan and whatnot, it's still a little bit of a scare, which I understood. However, right now a movement has been started, which is hashtag relist XRP. I've also shared it on Twitter. And by the way, the bigger benefits have all been listed in another video on my channel, or even by this lawyer. I forgot the name right now. Jeremy Hogan. There we go. But here, the Cryptic Poet just posted, retweet if you think Coinbase and Binance US should relist, and I personally think that's going to be coming up. Now, a second thing, which I've also explained before, is the price analysis, basically, or the TA, the technical analysis. I've told you guys before as well, it was looking juicy to purchase XRP, and from a easy perspective to follow, I just told you guys that if we breach a certain level, which was about 49 cents or so, with confirmation, once more, check out my previous videos if you want more in-depth, then we would buy and go long. It worked, it happened, and so we bought. And I think a lot of people were looking at the exact same point. And now that we breached it finally because of some positive news surrounding the lawsuit, is now that we can kind of build on there basically. So now we can hopefully start to build with 50 cents or 49 cents as a baseline. I hope that, and I think that that would be possible. Then Ripple just tweeted out, this is actually not too relevant, depending on how you look at it. It is basically showing that Ripple is still continuing on with everything. Now, one part is that Chris Larson in the lawsuit as well has been alleged to just continue on like nothing has really happened regarding the lawsuit. And that's also something you see on the Twitter page and just Twitter and Ripple in general. Yeah, they don't really look like they have a huge lawsuit going on. They just continue on with operations like normal. And that's one thing of confidence, in my opinion, that they continue everything like there's no stopping and everything like they've already won. I think that's a very ballsy, yet very good thing for the price. And that's also turned me bullish in a certain degree. Like Ripple showing all this faith, the founder showing all this faith, and now all regarding the lawsuit showing faith too. Everything is just looking good. Now, a second part of the lawsuit, which is nice, is actually John Deaton. If you don't know who this is, he's the person who filed a huge motion to intervene a little bit earlier with 6,000 XRP holders in the midst. The motion was denied. However, he filed again right now with 10,000 XRP members instead of only 6,000. And as you can read here, in the pre-motion letter to Judge Torres, we state, today's XRP is a government-recognized form of currency and is utilized by XRP holders completely independent of Ripple or its executives. If allowed to intervene, XRP holders will demonstrate to the court that XRP is used. Now, around the world and in the United States as a currency, 6 years ago, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network entered into an agreement with Ripple that XRP would be considered a virtual currency and its use would be registered exclusively with FinCEN, not the SEC. Afterwards, foreign nations started agreeing with the US government's 2015 currency classification of XRP, and Japan, Switzerland, UK, and the UAE all declared XRP as non-securities. Since that 2015 designation as virtual currency, the use cases of XRP have exploded. The following are only a few examples of how XRP holders utilize XRP without Ripple's knowledge or input. XRP holders use an Uphold XRP debit card to buy everyday items at Walmart, Amazon, and Target. XRP is accepted as a currency to pay for goods and services at over 1,000 businesses. Oh, this is a long one, by the way. XRP is used to move money from the US to Africa, Mexico, Thailand, Brazil, the Philippines, and all of Asia, and XRP is used as payroll currency by multiple companies. XRP holders use their XRP as collateral for loans or to earn interest, and the XRP ledger hosts more than 5,000 different ledgers, and all can transfer value between them utilizing XRP. XRP is used to purchase gold and silver online, and XRP is used to purchase cars at dealerships, and there are literally hundreds of developers utilizing XRP and the XRP ledger, and the vast majority of these developers have never had any contact, and that's again the important part, any contact with Ripple or its executives. XRP holders' interest in this action are not adequately represented by the existing parties, and absent intervention, the disposition of this case may impede their ability to protect their interest. XRP holders' intervention is timely, will cause no delay, and intervention will not prejudice the existing parties or exciting parties. Obviously, there are other things in our letter like the law as it exists to intervention, etc., but above is the conclusion. That is again their motion to intervene, and what it kind of comes down to, if you didn't understand from the full story here, there's a big issue going on right now, which is that XRP has been considered a currency before by some regulatory bodies inside the US, and now has been alleged to be a security. However, the difficult part is that the lawsuit is against Ripple, and Ripple, of course, has Ripple's best interest in mind. However, on XRP, there are a ton of developers, like maybe you and I, who knows, who have built something on there or who are working on it, who have no connection at all to Ripple. And then comes the question, in my opinion, as well, who is representing those people then? Who is representing us, the people who are independent of Ripple, in this lawsuit, which can still hurt our business, hurt our money, hurt our everything, since XRP stands differently from everything else. However, the question kind of pops up, which is this still useful? Because the SEC has now already kind of told us that, well, this whole lawsuit is actually only against Ripple and its executives, not against other XRP holders or people who are involved with XRP, which has kind of made this all useless, because you gotta say that the motion to intervene or get the XRP holders involved with the suit is no longer relevant, as the suit is not pointed towards us. So that's again a question you can ask yourself. I would say this is all nice as an additive, but it's not really necessary anymore, since all my concerns that XRP from holders or XRP on exchanges would have some trouble, they've all been mitigated and taken away. So I'm personally extremely bullish on that regard too. Then, did the Fed just tell us to buy Bitcoin and gold? This article is cool on two parts, partially because it's talking about inflation. The Fed's projections show inflation possibly rising as high as 2.4% at the end of the year, but Powell puts fear of imminent tightening to rest by saying he was expecting any inflation this year to be transient. The Fed won't overreact by hiking rates and potentially stifling the recovery when the inflation is a one-off event and not a trend. So, to summarize, the economy is recovering faster than expected, any inflation is expected to be short-term blip at most, and the Fed is keeping the monetary spigots flowing freely. And what that kind of refers to is they'll just be pumping more money in, as a baseline, the inflation is just going to come up, hopefully for a very short time, but the economy is also doing good. So that's one part of the thing, right? On a different sense, what the Fed really said, maybe not. Bond yields surged on the highest level since the onset of the pandemic, with the 10-year Treasury now yielding 1.7% and the 30-year yield 2.5%. Even after that surge, the 10-year yield is now below the Fed's inflation estimate for the year, and the 30-year yield is higher by only 0.1%. That means most bond investors will actually lose money this year after adjusting their returns for inflation. Of course, all is not lost. And people are now putting things on gold and Bitcoin as, well, that's basically their only option, is something that they're saying, to have it in your portfolio as a hedge against it all because it's not inflatable. Because, well, if inflation just keeps hiking up, they're saying it's temporary, but you never really know for certain. And the economy basically has shown that going for the traditional methods might not work out. Now, you might say, oh, but you can go for stocks and stuff. Yeah. Well, GDP is actually growing. Things are looking good. And that's actually a negative thing to go for stocks at that point because, well, things are really going bad on the back end of things, looking at the inflation, in my opinion, and looking at how much money is being put in. They're two separate things, though, right? You could say money being put in will lead to inflation. Okay, that's one thing. But it's actually a bad thing that so much money is flowing into the economy and that there is inflation. It might sound odd, but realize it for a little second. Money flowing in could actually mean more spending, could be a good thing, right? But think about the macro perspective, because what we're talking about with these stimulus is just, okay, some businesses keeping up, but most of them still hurting along the way. It's mostly about the idea that the big rich ones, right? The ones with 400 billion in the fucking sheets talk about something, all right? A lot of freaking money, that those are going to start to think about this in a little different sense. And then inflation comes afterwards because that's never really instant. The inflation is the worry, basically. But the money is the factor that causes them to do something. The inflation is something that they already anticipate. And to go against that, they, of course, go for different investments. And the fact that I'm saying that it's most likely also a bad thing is because stocks should, theoretically speaking, also be going down. The inflation and the money being put in are kind of put in to circumvent that or to stop it, but that shouldn't really work that way because things are just bad following the pandemic. So GDP growing this much is really odd if you think about it because things should be going bad. Otherwise, why would you have to put so much money in? And why isn't everything reacting in a more negative sense? That's so odd. And that's why I'm thinking going for stocks might be a scary thing because you're not really hedging against everything. You're most likely just going with the flow anyway. Because if things go bad, stocks will be one of the first things to fall. And then fresh wave of interest pushes Cardano near all-time highs. I actually want to kind of cut it short here a little bit talking about Cardano because, well, there's just a huge amount of interest, mostly in my opinion, because it got listed on Coinbase. And I also just saw one tweet of somebody saying he bought like 50,000 Cardano or so. So if that was you, congratulations. And let's quickly see Coinbase delays a highly anticipated direct listing to April. This again just talking about their big stock thing or their public listing. It's interesting in my opinion. It's very, very interesting, but we'll leave it like that for now as well. Guys, go check out GSX. A link will be down below. It is the world's first gold-backed crypto. Personally, really like it, and I still think that this is going to get really big. There's a couple more days to go before the sale is over. I believe 3 more days. So go check it out. Link is down below. It is 10 cents a coin, plus a 5% bonus, plus a 5% bonus for using my link. And I'm hoping to really times 20, times 30 our money or so in a couple of weeks here. But we'll see, all right? We never know for certain. We might lose everything. Having said that, make sure you press the like button if you enjoyed it. This is why I'm extremely bullish on XRP right now. Everything is just pointing towards it. Ripple's going to be working with the CBDCs. Ripple has the plan out there. This is really, I don't know, it's just all a joke in my opinion, the whole lawsuit and everything. It kind of looks to have been fixed for a very long while. At least for us as XP holders, nothing really matters. And once these exchanges start to list it, I think we'll see a boom. So yeah, I've turned extremely bullish, and that was it for today.